creek is bubbling. It's gonna be another hot one, but not like what they're having in the what they're having in the UK today, like over 100 degrees. Those poor people will melt. They're not used to that. They're not used to scorching like we do at the compound. Anywho, a couple of like really wonderful, like totally unexpected subscribers have sent me donations in the mail. And wow, that really helps, man. Swear to God. You ready? I mean, I'm gonna take that over to my when I get some bucks, because I cannot figure out for the life of me what's going on with that one. I know some of the subscribers will now squabble and say I should have put the money into that, but that's going to take $700 just to get rolling, even though the engine runs. Okay, that's $700. So we're working our way that way. Okay, so some of you guys will probably bitch at me. That's okay. I gotta get the yellow one running better. I got it running better, but it's like wasting gas. I don't know. I'm gonna have to take it over to my buddies. I put new spark plugs on there. Scrap Farm's like, check the plugs, check the plug wires. So this is what we got. And I did that already, and it runs better, but it's still something wrong. So this is what I got right here. I'm not really a Mopar fan, and the donations that I got were not enough to get it registered, so it's not rolling down the street. It's got your typical Mopar problems. The windshield wipers don't work in perfect unison. There was this big national recall for these trucks a long time ago. See how it's got the dent in there, and the hood is crumpled. Well, what happened was, the safety latch right here for the hood. You know how hoods have or they call them bonnets, in the UK, but it's got, a double lock latch, like all doors and closings on a vehicle have. They've got two, like, okay, it's shut. See? Now it's closed tight, okay? So, like, the hood and doors on cars have two latches. Like this right here. It's got this latch right here. That's the safety, and it's got the regular lock. Well, on the Dodge pickup trucks, the safety latch would rust and stay in the open position. So you hit a big enough bump, and if this thing wasn't working properly, the main latch, the hood would fly up, and same thing happened to this one. See how the hood is dented and crumpled right there? What happens is the hood just stands straight up. You're going 40 or 50 miles an hour, and now you have a hood that's bent to shit, and the springs don't work right. You know what I mean? Same exact thing. So there was a recall on that. Let's open up the hood here. So it's got a few aches and pains. Like this seat right here, I can't get it to stand straight up like that one right there. I've played around with it, so I'm gonna have to mess with it some more. I don't want to drive around in the reclined position. Let's see, it's got a slow air leak in the in this tire, and it's gonna have to be replaced because look at that. Look at that dry rot right there. That's a problem. See how the hood opens just like that, and it gets hung up on the windshield wiper, and it messes with the windshield wipers until they don't work anymore. Not quite sure what's going on with the radiator. That doesn't look quite right. That's a V6 right there, so this actually doesn't work the same way. This one's 98, I think, so it's set up a little bit differently. Yeah, set up a little bit differently. This has got a V8, so the radiators are different. They're totally different. But I ran this thing, I checked it out. I don't know what the deal is right there, why it's like that. But look how bowed out all that is. That's like a disaster waiting to happen, I think. But I ran it, man. I checked it out. I don't know. I drove it all the way here to the compound with the wife following. It seemed like it checked out. I checked the oil. I don't know if the transmission fluid is a little bit low, because when I stepped on it, I could feel it slipping, and that's the one thing I don't like about Chrysler products. They have really weak transmissions compared to a General Motors product. You know, like a Chevy. Chevy's got a really almost bulletproof transmission. You know, the automatic transmissions. What the? Yeah, the Chrysler products, well, especially the modern ones, now that they're owned by Fiat, or half owned by Fiat. Fix it again, Tony. They're complete garbage now. I know people will be going, not the Hellcat. There's always an exception to the rule. You don't really see a lot of these. And when you do, they're just sitting around like that one right there. There's like 10,000 things wrong with that, and as you can see with this one, this has got about 500 little things wrong. So this is 50-50 mix of antifreeze, but when I bought it, first thing I looked at was the radiator. First thing, before even starting it up. And I noticed it was about half low, but it didn't appear to be leaking. Okay, well, if they're filling it up, it doesn't really appear to have any leaks or anything like that. So, and look at that radiator cap, it's pretty clean. And the radiator doesn't seem very gunked up. So I really wonder what the heck is going on here. Is that thing about to burst or something like that? Because look at how expanded it is. That's what I think is going to happen. After the radiator lost its structural integrity right there. I think it's about to pop. I'll be looking at getting a radiator, I suppose. Until then, the oil didn't look bad. Chrysler products have a really long dipstick. That's the body computer, and this is what I want to look at with it running. I want to look at the trans fluid again and check the level, because I don't know if it's low or what, but it doesn't look burnt. Smells like transmission fluid. Anyway, the guy, the first thing I seen also was this funnel in here. So I asked him, I'm like, what's going on? And he claimed there's a little leak right here. So I let this thing sit on purpose in the same spot for several days. I think it passed like 3 days. Look at the Chrysler product has got what is that? Port fuel injection. It doesn't have like a throttle body like the General Motors products do. Of course, this is a 94. That's a few years newer than my Chevys. Oh, the battery looks like some recent work was done to it. See the corrosion and stuff like that was there? It looks like somebody cleaned off the terminals. So that bend in the hood, I need to take care of that, because that grabs onto the windshield wiper every time you raise the hood. Fan belt didn't look bad, could be replaced. Got some dry rot cracks. Nothing major, nothing that... I know the riding lawn tractor that I found a few months back, the fan belt broke yesterday, so yeah, this is fine. So unless I find another fan belt off of one of the machines I got or something like that, it'll probably stay waylaid until next spring. I don't know. Oh wow, that's the original radiator. It's got the Mopar tag on there. And it's got it's got a brake it's got a brake leak. Should figure out how to get that hood to bend back up there. Yeah, so anyway, this is the hood latch that they recalled to see how it... They got that peeled off. These things, they just rusted away, and the spring did. That's why they were recalled. And yeah, I put some rusty in there or something. See how it's bent down like that? See how I grab down? Well, now the hood's open. That's a problem. I mean, they work and stuff like that, but I know from experience, if you don't take care of it, it'll end up like that one right there. See how it's only got one wiper? Because the windshield wiper transmission stops working eventually. And it's got a short in the taillights. See? So I've been playing with that, and I guess there was something wrong with the grounding. So I'm taking care of that problem.